Now we're going to take what we've learned through the whole week and put it together into a sequence. So we're going to start with a similar warm-up that we've been doing all week and then just incorporate the rest of the poses into it. So come onto your hands and your feet, your hands and your knees, pressing down into the palms of your hands, out through all your knuckles. Nice starfish hands along your mat. And we're going to inhale the chest forward, looking up at the sky, tucking the toes, and then exhale, round the spine, scooping the low belly in. Again, inhale, chest forward, look up. You guys should have these pretty good by now. Exhale, round. Inhale, chest up, look up. Exhale, round. Give me about 2 more of these. Inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Now this time we're going to inhale, tucking the toes. We're going to lift the hips up and back this time into downward facing dog. So lifting the hips up and back, straightening the legs, pressing down through the hands, up out of the wrists, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades moving down the back, heels trying to reach towards the ground. If you want to pedal out your feet for this first down dog, feel free. And then after you've done that a couple times, settle into the pose. Try to refrain from fidgeting. Just try to be still for a couple breaths. And then we're going to take the right leg up in between the hands into a lunge. And then let's step the left leg up to meet it into a forward bend. Then we're going to shine the heart forward, looking up, coming onto our fingertips or onto our shins. And folding again, exhale. And inhale, arms all the way up. And then hands down center. Nice deep breath here. We're going to start by warming up even further with Surya Namaskar B. So you've learned all the poses for B, but we haven't quite put it into a sequence yet. So we're going to start with chair pose and then move through a vinyasa into warrior 1, through another vinyasa, warrior 1 on the other side, through another vinyasa, and we'll end with chair pose again. We'll do the full cycle 2 times. So let's inhale chair pose, reaching the arms high, sitting low. The weight is in the heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes. You want to tuck your low belly in, and your tailbone's going to be reaching down towards the ground. Breathe. And fold forward. Inhale, reach the heart forward, and this time let's step the right leg back into a lunge. And then we'll step the left leg back to meet it. Low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking the right leg up, in between the hands, we're going to lift into warrior 1. And remember, this is where our heels are heel-to-heel alignment or slightly wider. Front knee is nice and bent, parallel to the floor. And breathe. And hands down to frame the foot. Step back again through a vinyasa, low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to bring the left leg up in between the hands. And we're going to, on an inhale, lift into warrior 1 again. Setting the hips nice and low, reaching through that back outer edge of that back leg, and breathing, biceps up by the ears, arms are straight, maybe gazing up. Trying to square the hips towards the front of your mat. And hands down to frame the foot. Step back, low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. And this time you can jump or step to the front of your mat. I'm going to jump. And we're going to inhale, chair pose. Squeezing the outer hips in. Again, scooping that lower belly in. Weight in the heels. And all the way up to standing, hands down, heart center. We're going to do that one more time on the breath. Just like that, but a little bit faster. So let's inhale, chair pose. Sit low, reach high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chest forward, look up. And exhale, now jumper step into plank and low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg up between the hands. Inhale, warrior 1. exhale, hands down to frame the foot. Step back, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up between the hands. You know what we have next, right? Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Either through a vinyasa, or if you ever want to skip the vinyasa, you can go straight into down dog if you're getting tired. We're going to take it. And then you can have a couple breaths here, or if you'd like to drop to child's pose and take an even nicer break, you can do that. If you're in child's pose, come back into downward facing dog. Step the feet together, bend the knees, and jumper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, chair pose, and exhale all the way up to standing. Hands down the center. Now we're going to move on to a couple of those other poses that we've learned. We'll start with the Prasaritas A and C. So first, let's bend our knees, and we'll take a big giant step back with our right leg to face forward. Remember, we want our wrists underneath our ankles. So let's start with Prasarita A, hands on our low backs, elbows pointing back. Leading with the chest, everybody take a nice inhale, and lead on an exhale all the way down. Once you get down to the mat, you want to bring your hands to the mat if possible. If you need a block, you can use a block also. And trying to get the hands, the fingers, in line with your toes. And eventually we want to try to get our head on the floor. This is a prep for tripod headstand, so that's what we're ultimately going for. If you can't get all the way down to the ground, that's fine. Just let the head hang heavy. Lifting the shoulders away from the ears and keeping a lift in your quadriceps. And coming out of it the same way we went in, hands back to the lower back, elbows pointing up towards the sky. Inhale, leading with your chest all the way back up. Leaving our feet where they are, Prasarita C now. So this is where we have the different hand variations. You can do the interlacing, you can do reverse namaste, you can do the Gomukhasana arms, or if that's all too intense, you can grab a strap or your elbows. I'm going to go with the good old interlacing of the fingers. So take your arm variation, roll the shoulder blades down the back, inhale, and on the exhale, leading with the chest, all the way back down. Head hanging freely. If your hands are crossed, interlaced like mine, reach those knuckles towards the sky. Again, keeping the lift in your quadriceps. And breathing. And inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Release the arms. And keeping the legs where they are, we're going to turn the right toes out, left toe slightly in. Now I need a little bit of a shorter stance, some of you might too. We're going to go into pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. So again, you have the choice in your arm variation, same arm variation that we just did. I am going to go with the reverse namaste, and we're trying to keep the chest open. So if my palms are opening like that, I don't know if you can see my hair, I'm caving my chest, so you really want to keep the palms together. So get your positioning. You don't want to be on too much of a tightrope. If you need to walk your right leg out to the right a little bit, you can. And again, we're going to inhale and exhale, again, leading with the chest. I want you to shine your chest towards the floor more than rounding your spine, trying to get your forehead to your shin. I much prefer a straighter spine. And breathe here for a moment. Again, trying to square those hips. Even my hip was trying to sneak out there a little bit. And inhale, come back up to standing. And again on the left, if you were interlacing your hands, or if you had Gomukhasana arms, switch your interlacing and switch the side of your arms. It's all about balance, right? And let's try this one more time. So take your arm variation. I'm going to stick with this one. And inhale, leading with the chest, fold over that left leg, keeping those hips square towards the front of your mat, shining that heart towards your toes, keeping the round out of the spine. And inhale, come back up. balance just a little bit, we'll get into eagle pose. So we're going to start with the right leg going over. So do you remember which one goes under? Your right arm goes under. Yay! So I like to do the arms first. I'll face this way. So wrap your right arm underneath your left. And we're trying to get our palms together. If that doesn't work, you can grab your thumb or you can grab your shoulders. Once you get into that, you want to lift your elbows off your chest and you want your hands to come away from your face. It's a really nice stretch across that upper back. Next, we're going to get the legs in position. So sitting kind of like chair pose. You want to wrap that right leg around the left. And again, lift the arms up off of the chest and pull the hands away from the face. If your foot isn't quite wrapping around, you can place it over here or even on a block, wherever you're at today. And then settle into the pose and breathe. Woo, and see, I even fall out sometimes too. So you fall out and you just get right back in. Couple more breaths. And untwist the arms and unwrap the legs. Now Garudasana on the left side, eagle on the left side. Arms first, left underneath the right, trying to get the palms to touch or grabbing the shoulders or the thumb, lifting it up off the chest and pulling it away from the face. Sitting low onto that right leg and wrapping around and breathing. And unwrapping everything, untwisting everything. We're going to go into our warriors now. So let's take a sun salutation back into down dog. Oh, this is hard to talk and do it at the same time. I'm used to doing one or the other. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, jumper step back through that vinyasa. Or remember, you can always go straight to down dog. And exhale into down dog. Now starting with the right foot again, lifting that leg up, stepping it through. We've already done warrior two. We've already done warrior one. So we're going to go into warrior two, placing that front heel in line with that back arch and lifting into warrior two. Reaching the hands towards the front and back of the room, trying to almost touch both of the walls and gazing over those right fingertips. Nice bend in that front leg, keeping it parallel to the floor. Try to not let that buttock sneak out. Try to keep it tucked and relax the shoulder blades down the back. And coming into reverse, we're going to place that hand nice and far down that left leg and reach our right arm over our ear. Keeping the bend in that front leg, it starts to sneak up in this pose. We don't want it to do that. And standing up, we're going to windmill the arms down, stepping back into plank, low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll do that same thing on the left side. So lifting that left leg up, stepping it through in between the hands, making sure our feet are in proper alignment, and inhaling into that warrior two on this side. Reaching the hands again, gazing over those left fingertips, softening the tops of the shoulders, making sure the weight is in the heel of that front foot and the knee is over the ankle to protect it. And coming into reversed, keeping a nice front bend in that front leg and reaching over the ear with that left arm. And windmill the arms, down to frame the foot, step back, again through a vinyasa, or you can go straight to down dog. And now I think there's one more pose we haven't done yet. Anybody guess what it is? Warrior three.